Welcome to the Wed Pro podcast, the podcast for Wed Pros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the Wed Pro podcast.
Okay, today we're talking wedding fairs, which can be an amazing way to book more weddings and get more couples to be aware of you, or they can be a complete waste of time. It just depends on how you prepare and how you show up. Isn't that right?
That is right. If you've ever left a wedding show with nothing but a sore back and a stack of business cards that led to nowhere, you are not alone. I hear this often.
But that's not today. Yeah, we do here, don't we? Wedding fairs are a waste of time. But in this episode, we are breaking down exactly what to do before, during, and here's the kicker, after a wedding fair to make sure you are actually getting bookings, not just having nice conversations or a lovely bacon sandwich.
Yes, I remember the days.
The days of the bacon sandwich. That was a sign of a good wedding fair, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was like three pastries in the morning, bacon sarnie for lunch. And because we want to make this as easy as possible for you, we've put together a step-by-step wedding fair success training for just £9, which is frankly ridiculous. But we want as many of you as possible to grab it while it's available, because this wedding fair training, like people that purchase it and do the training, we get feedback, and you know, it's a £9 product. No, like nobody has to come back
we
and
get
say,
rave reviews about it.
Rave reviews about it, people.
I think if you are investing your Sundays, oh my word, Sundays at wedding fairs, if you're getting up at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning, wasting your day and money investing in wedding fairs, you owe it to yourself to make that count. So let's get into it and tell you the 3 simple strategies that we've used, we tell our clients to use to make sure you get the most out of your next wedding fair.
Yeah, actually, I want you to pause this episode right now and just go and purchase it for £9. Go and get that training, because it will change your wedding fair strategy. You'll have more clients coming in. So just, you, as you said, Kate, you owe it to yourselves just to go and spend that extra tenner and start making wedding fairs work for you.
I don't think it's going to be, we won't keep this at £9 for forever, will we?
No.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good feedback.
You actually get 4 trainings inside of it, and a Canva template, which helps you build out your wedding fair folder, which I talk about in the trainings. It's literal gold dust.
Okay, so let's go into it. So the first thing we need you to do is be choosing the right wedding fair for your business, isn't it?
Yeah. So first things first, not all wedding fairs are created as equals. The biggest mistake wedding pros make is booking a show without researching if their ideal couples are going to actually be there. Are the people that you want to work with going to that wedding fair?
Yeah, so let's say you're a luxury wedding photographer who wants to work with high-end couples, booking stately homes, manor houses, think Bridgerton vibes, but you set up a stand at a budget-friendly local wedding fair where most couples are looking for DIY options and spending less than sort of £6-7 grand on their whole wedding.
Yeah, and guess what? You are in the wrong room. And I actually spoke to somebody, a wedding business, a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about wedding fairs, and he was saying that they're just not working for him. He's going to them, or is really attracting his like not an ideal client who was a budget shopper. And I asked him like what kind of wedding fairs he was standing at, and he was like, oh, one's at sports halls, one's at local community centres. And a light bulb literally lit up above his head, and he was like, I'm going to the wrong place, aren't I? I was like, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I think before you even book that stand, you need to be asking yourself, who's your ideal couple? Where are they getting married? Is this show attracting them?
And don't just take the organiser's word for it. You can go and visit the show if you can, you know, talk to other people that are standing there, see who's attending. Really make sure it's a good fit before you part with any cash and book onto that fair.
I think the other thing to do as well, I used to always ask questions like, how many people are you expecting?
You did?
Yeah. They hate me. I used to be that person.
No, she's coming.
Hey, if you want my money, these are the things I need to know. Like, who are you attracting? How many people are you attracting? Do you have like, what's your marketing strategy look like? Are you running any ads? Do you have a follow-up strategy? Are we able to get the, I mean, this is pre-GDPR, but are we able to get the email addresses of everybody that's registered to attend at the fair? Or do we need to be collecting data on the day? Have you run this show before? How many people turned up before? How many other suppliers are standing that do the same thing that I do? These are the basic questions that you want to be asking before you are parting with money. And I think the other thing is as well, is that you're able to work out that ROI. Like if you're going to be spending £200 to stand at a wedding fair, how many bookings do you need to make? How many conversations do you need to have in order for you to recoup that investment?
So can we just pause this subject for a moment? And those of you that are watching us on Spotify, Katie Lith, what have you got in your hand?
It's it's a crystal.
Like struggling.
It's my citrine crystal.
Now, amazing.
It stays on
I
my desk.
thought it was, but I was like, what is this?
It stays on my desk all the time. Sometimes for a little bit of a fiddle. But yeah, I'm quite into crystals. And then this on my necklace. Oh, I can't remember what that is. But this is a Reiki infused necklace that came from abroad. I think it came from Greece, maybe. I think that might be an aventurine. But yeah, I'm quite into crystals and grounding and meditation and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah. Anyway, back to
Do
the
it. I just wanted to be like, what is that?
what's that? Okay. So here's the thing, right? The best wedding pros that are really make wedding fairs work for their business aren't just sitting at their stand and waiting for couples to come to them.
Nope. And we weren't allowed to do this when we went to wedding fairs, were we, boss lady Katie? We would be like pushing that table back, and other people would be looking at us like, what are they doing? But what we were also doing is making sure couples are already looking for us before they even walked through that door, weren't we?
Yeah, and here's how you do it. You post about the show on social media, you tag the wedding fair organizer, you use event hashtags, you tell couples why they should come and see you at your stand. Maybe you're offering an exclusive incentive, grab a free bridal planning checklist, come and have some cake, whatever it is. Give them a reason to come and find you. Also, have a think about how you can get featured by the organisers. Many shows have event guides, social media, spotlights, stage opportunities, maybe. See how you can get involved. Maybe you want to sponsor the show. Have a think about how you can stand out from everybody else that's already going to be there.
And it's exactly like we said on the last episode. It's about, okay, I'm doing this. What would be the next level? What else can I do on top of this? Like what extra layer is there available? Always think like that in business. And we've seen wed pros do this really, really well. And couples literally walk in looking for them instead of just wandering around the room. And that is the goal.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about following up and what happens after the show and why it's so important. And this really is where wedding pros really drop the ball. They go all in on the wedding show and then they wait for couples to kind of contact them. And I get it, it's Sunday, you're tired, the show's finished at 4 o'clock, you've been on your feet all day, you've had to go then and pack your car, you've had to unpack your car on the other side, you're hungry, you're knackered, you're tired.
You've got to sort the kids out for school the next day. Like, we get it.
We get it. It's a lot. But, most people won't get in touch with you and you need to be getting in touch with them first.
That's it. If you're waiting for them to reach out to you, you've got lost in a sea of other wedding suppliers. Like, I've been a bride, attended a wedding fair quite a few times actually when I was getting married. And those leaflets just, sorry to say it, get binned.
Yeah, they just stay in a bag at the bottom of something that you think you're going to look at some point.
Yeah, and then you don't.
So here's what you need to do, right? You need to be getting details, not just handing out flyers, but collecting names, emails, wedding dates. You want to be following up fast. Like couples book quickly after a wedding fair if they're in that buy now stage. If you're not following up or reminding them of you within 48 hours, you are missing out. Be that supplier that, reminds them at the end of the day that they spoke to you, that you had a lovely conversation with them. Here's a little tip as well. They may have spoken to a lot of wedding suppliers on that day, a lot of information. It's all jingling around in their brain. Maybe they've had lunch out with the girls as well. It's all getting mushed around.
They'll get a bit out of hand, it sounds.
And remember you is can be difficult. On your emails, make sure there's a picture of you on your emails so that people can remember, oh yeah, that's that florist that I spoke to. Especially if you're one of many florists at a wedding fair as well. Personalize those emails, include a photograph of yourself or your stand at the show if you want to help them remember who you were and just ignite that conversation that you had with them.
I love that. And you can also layer this with email marketing as well, which you know that we love. But if you want our exact steps on how you can literally nail your whole wedding fair strategy, because this is what it should be. It shouldn't just be about going to that wedding fair. You need to think about what to do before, what to do during, and what to do after. And also, we've got some templates in there as well. Our wedding fair success training is in the show notes, and it's just £9, and you could book one extra wedding from this training. You're going to book multiple weddings, let me tell you, from this training, and it's worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, even if you booked one extra wedding,
Yeah.
right? You make your investment 100 times over. Like, where else can you make 100 times the return on investment? Okay, we've talked about what to do. Now let's talk about what not to do at wedding fairs. So, mistake number one, talking about yourself too much.
Yeah, couples don't care about your credentials. Sorry, it is not about you. They care about how you can help them. So ask questions and make it about them. Please don't bore them with like your life story, as nice as I can say that.
Okay, mistake number two that we see quite often is that you're quite forgettable, you're quite samey as everybody else. Your stand should be memorable. So have a think about it, whether it's a mini experience that you can do, a giveaway, maybe a fun game that you could do on your stand. Stand out with your stand. Think of an idea, think of the boldest idea you can have, and if you need to scale it back, scale it back. But how can you be different? And sometimes it's just as easy as making like a little breakout space, somewhere for people to sit down. Quite often at these wedding fairs, there's nowhere for people to sit down. So maybe it's something as simple as having a little breakout space near your stand that people can come sit down and have a chat and flick through some brochures. Maybe it's a fun spin the wheel giveaway that you could be doing. Maybe you're a hair and makeup artist and you can be actually doing little mini trials on the day. Whatever it is, think of something as to how you can stand out and be memorable. So when people go home, they're thinking of you.
Yeah. So mistake number three, not having a way to take bookings on the spot. If your couple wants to book you at the show, make it really easy. Have a card reader, have your diary, have whatever you need ready to get that booking and take a deposit on the day.
Yeah, we go through this and lots more inside of our wedding fair success training. Like we said, it's only £9. There's really no reason to not go and grab that.
No, it's literally a coffee, a couple of coffees. It's so worth it. Wedding fairs can really be a goldmine for bookings, but only if you know how to maximize your investment. And that's what we do in this training. We strategize. Everything in business should be a strategy anyway.
There's loads of value inside, but so go and grab it before the price goes up. The link is in the show notes for that.
And if you've loved this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a strategy that could change your business.
Okay, that's it for today. There's your little wedding fair strategy guide, what to do, what not to do. Looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. Go and grab that wedding fair training now, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wed Pro podcast. Full transcribes of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.